Ladies and gentlemen, here we are facing a 1v1 situation, but we do have a vehicle pulling up to our building. Another enemy popping up on the mini map. We need to divert and go help our two teammates out. Let's go ahead and spectate Twitch E, who is running in the middle of the action. One enemy jumps out from the elevator with a nice little b-hop, knocks us. Our other teammate comes in, gets 2v1, but fortunately Hagen comes in from the back inside and finishes the two enemies. Unfortunately, we take our eyes off the two guys that we knocked, giving them time to self-res, and now we have to go read down them and finish them off. But the biggest mistake of all is when we decide, instead of finishing the fight, to shoot at the other vehicle, a whole other team, and another enemy comes in and again knocks our squad. I'm gonna tell you guys the story of Mr. E and his squad. This team did blow through me and my squad of randoms in trios ranked, and I decided, you know what, let's spectate them and see how good these guys are, because they did utilize strategy in order to kill us, and I was kind of impressed. And the story of this squad and how they overcome obstacles and go on to win using game mechanics that are available to you guys is actually incredible. Right now, just simply, when we first started spectating them, they had a UAV. They spotted an enemy on the UAV that we couldn't see because we're in spectate, and they're gonna get the kill. Not really a serious tip there, but tip number one that I want to give you guys is know when to bail. Nothing crazy going on right now, but they are being sniped at from an enemy across the water over by the airfield. So these guys, instead of fighting them, are just repositioning. Now, this seems basic common sense, but me and a lot of other people, we have an ego. We probably want to kill them. Reason number one is look at the minimap. Anybody can push us from multiple directions and completely destroy us, completely ruin our day, and we have no cover, no concealment from anyone behind us. Which leads me to point number two. We could waste our ammunition, our self-res, our plates. If we get third party and we have none of these tools or rations to our advantage, guess what? We're gonna be SOL, and you really don't want to put yourself in an unfortunate position because you assumed. What happens when you assume? That's right, you get killed. So this portable buy is theirs, and they're just basically kind of playing the area. This isn't a tactic or strategy I always recommend, and you can kind of do what you want, but you know, if there's a nice build and you feel like you and your squad can hold while you rotate different spots and you can come back, it's not a bad idea to throw a portable buy on top of a building so you can kind of play that and go off and hunt, come back, restock up on UAVs, and continue to do that. And that's really what this team does. So I'm not going to list this as a tip, just a nice recommendation depending on the team you're with and also how the circle end zone dictates. So right now we have a counter UAV up, and I'm assuming it's to hide the fact that there is a portable buy here, which also hides the fact that we're here. Teammates grabbing money. This is a huge one too. We talked about this on stream the other day. If you guys want to check out my streams where we record a lot of this, especially my gameplay, make sure you follow me over on Kick. Link will be in the description below. So teammates gave us cash, guys. Tip number two, pay attention to your money. Pay attention to your money. I'm gonna say it one more time. Pay attention to your money. It's the basic things that drive me crazy. It's the basic things that you guys need to work on. You want to be producing 20 and 30 kill games, especially with wins. So many times we witness players with 2, 3, 7, 9 grand combined being able to buy whatever they want, run right past the buy. Guys, never run past the buy with more money than UAV. Make sure you're buying tools and utilities, because dude, the amount of times we witness players run past buys and get clapped when they could have had UAV and maybe the enemy would have been on UAV would mind blow you. But tip number three, guys, the reason why I'm gonna talk about this and freeze it is look at the separation. Is this good or bad? You guys hear my videos all the time. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section right now. I want to know, seriously, what's your first impression, good or bad? It's good. Look at it. It's a perfect mixture. Now I tell you guys all the time, play together. And unfortunately, a lot of people are like, okay, they grab their boyfriend's hand, they pull them to them, and they grab their other boyfriend's hand, they pull them to them, and the next thing you know, if one enemy looks at them, he can see all three of you guys in one scope. Real quickly, look at the line of sight. If Mr. D gets shot at, Hagen right here can do one of three things. One, he can play inside windows. Two, he could push his teammate and help him out instantly. Or three, he can go to the rooftop and get a better vantage point. Same thing with us. If Mr. D gets shot at, we are close enough with line of sight on him to help him out. A, smoke him. B, put shots on the enemy. Or C, so there's a ladder right here. He could just go up, he could just smoke it, go up the ladder, and again get a vantage point on the enemies. This is a really good example. If there's a team on the hill shooting at them, downs them, we can now be there to help them out. If you guys continue to hold hands, again, you'll win gunfights here and there, and it's not a bad idea if you know a team is down to 1 or 2 people and you just push in there. That's fine. But the cardinal rule is always be near each other so you have different angles on each other to help out, but never be so on top of each other that you can be collateraled by a sticky, a rocket launcher, or just someone shooting straight. Tip number 4, guys, loot. I'm a savage, what do you mean? Loot fast and efficiently, guys. Notice how fast he went through there and loot. Let's get a replay, but look how fast he loots. In, out, in, out. We just did a whole crate in under a second. Now, the reason why that's so important is if you guys cannot make decisions fast enough when you're looting and you're not under pressure, how do you expect to make decisions, good ones, when you're being shot at and under pressure? You're not going to. So the simplest way to improve your reaction speed, meaning looting, picking stuff up and dropping them, bag swapping, things like that, and also decision making, is to simply just loot faster. I know it sounds weird. Savage said to practice looting. I hate saying it because I feel like I shouldn't, but damn it, what we witnessed, man, do it. So right now, pretty simple. We didn't see anything as we're spectating Mr. E. He has a different line of sight than his two teammates, but blue did ping up here and so did yellow. So I'm assuming there's an enemy squad. These guys are playing so well together. I'm pretty sure there's also voice comms, which leads me to tip number 5, guys. Even if you voice comm, you better ping it. The amount of times someone says enemy over here on me and there's no ping and I'm sitting there looking in circles, unacceptable. Now, a lot of you guys in this situation be like, Savage, how do you combat that? Tip number 6, guys, you don't. You're just dead. It is what it is. There are a lot of times you can't get yourself out of shitty situations, and that, unfortunately, is one of them. But real quick, can we get a replay of that? This is just a perfect example of, oh shit. Unfortunately, took the elevator, the team saw, and they just collapsed on him. This is one of those situations you can't help. And there are a lot of situations similar to this. But again, if you're solos, this is going to happen to you more times than you'd like. If you are a 3-man and this happens to you, again, shame on you for leaving your squad. But because he went down instant, we know he was a solo. Tip number 7, guys, look around while you're moving. Look how he's scanning around as he's moving. He's dolphin diving, he's meleeing, so he resets the tac sprint, and he's looking around. His teammates are pinging people in the air. Even if you don't think you can kill the enemies, make sure you ping if you see somebody. Tip number 7, guys, map awareness. So many times you guys do not pull up your map at all until it's in game or early game, and that's it. I pull up my map at least 50 times a game. And right here, look at this. Do we see anybody? No. Are we ADSing on anything? No. What's he doing? Well, the UAV went up. We just got one scan, so he backed up. He's staring at the ground, and he's pulling up his map. Why? Why is he pulling his map up? Well, clearly he saw a blip on the edge of his mini map when the UAV went up. See the UAV? So when the first swipe happened, it identified an enemy, so he saw it on his mini map, so he pulled up his big map, so he then could ping the exact location. So there's no guessing. Is he over there? Is he over there? Is he over there? Is he over there? We have an exact location, but so does our team. So we go ahead, ADS on the enemy. We don't take shots. Remember, don't shoot at everybody you see, especially if you're about to push them. This fight right here is definitely questionable because we have the low ground, but because they don't know we're here, I wouldn't say we have an advantage, but it's a fair game. Right now the enemy's cracked. We actually hit him with a throwing knife, which should knock him, but for some reason it doesn't. Good old Activision just doing shitty things. And the enemy is instant, so again, you don't see much scanning from Hagen. He's not really worried about other enemies collapsing. He just simply loots, and that's pretty common. Tip number 8, guy, play positioning. You guys always want to hold the best building, especially if you're gatekeeping. This is going to be your best spot. If you're the enemies outside of this spot, this is a tip for you too. You have one or two options: either work around us, or you should have rotated the moment the next circle identified and grabbed this spot. This team was off doing their own thing. They didn't come instantly, but we did have enough time because no one else did come. Now look at this guy here, clearly in a bad spot. There's not much he can do unless he has smoke grenades, but you know, players want to be cute. They don't want to use smokes. It is what it is. Notice how he's peeking his head up and down. This is not a bad strategy for plating up so you can re-engage. It's also a good strat if you're peeking up. You can see if this team ends up pushing up the hill. You don't ever want to go prone and lay behind it. The problem with this is we don't have much cover but a rock. Peeking up ain't going to help us at all because it puts our whole body vulnerable. So in this situation here, your boy needs to have a smoke grenade. Does he? I don't know, but look at the minimap. Look at it. Going back to tip number 7, pay attention to minimap. Notice the mini map. We're in a fight right now. He could push us. He might not. We don't know. But he does notice that there's a ping over here. So he's going to finish the fight. And in 2 different aspects, this kind of happens. One, unfortunately, Ghillie Suit Boy A decides to B-hop from the elevator. And he successfully does so. Breaks our camera. And then no matter how fast you react, you're already dead. And this is kind of just everyone in one at a time. Blasey, and it is what it is. But right here, this is the problem. So instantly, Mr. E wants to bail away, change his position, and play it up. And I get that. But we have knock 1 and knock 2, and I don't want them to self-res because now Blue's down, we're cracked, and yellow's cracked. So if one of them self-reses, there's a good chance he could finish this fight and team wipe us. So we get our eyes off the enemies when legitimately all we had to do is just shoot them, and our other teammate could have ran in and then shot that guy as well. But because he didn't, the dude self-res, got the knock, and we're able to go ahead and finish that guy finally. Now this is the biggest throw of all. There's a lot of what ifs in that situation. This is definitely preventable. We're fighting a whole team and then we get focused. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, I'm assuming he assumes this guy is part of that team, but I don't think so. We now know that's not the case at all. So the fact that Mr. E went on this while his team's still in here fighting the same fight is wild. You guys have got to finish the fight. Even if you think everyone's dead, clear the rooms, listen for footsteps, things like secure the reses. Our teammates were still cracked and resin, and we were out there shooting at a moving vehicle. So that was just a bad fight in general. No really good tips about this, guys. You just kind of got to rotate. Now look, when you look at places like airfield, you can go where you feel comfortable, but that big rooftop is going to be your best position. And the reason why is because it's so big. So if that rooftop is favored, play it. Play it, because if the circle goes left, right, up, down, that rooftop is still probably going to be favored until the very end. A lot of you people right now, did he just say you people? A lot of you people right now would see a lot of things and be like, I don't want to go to the rooftop, fuck that. But look, so you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions in order to win the game. There are many UAVs up there. There's a cluster strike currently, there's a buy station, and there's a smoke. Clearly there's a fight going on. Even if we didn't have the mindset to third party this, we still want to get this rooftop for positioning. If you decide to commit to the bottom floor, there's a very good chance you're going to die. So why be afraid if you're probably going to die anyway? Grab the rooftop, fight for it, get the high ground. And that's exactly what this team does. And right now we got pings going off. We're a little delayed, which is fine. I'd rather be a little bit closer, but we're a little delayed. And again, notice the separation, getting two different lines of sights on the enemy. Kind of taking some Kobe's right there. It's actually not bad throws, to be honest, even though he didn't hit any. And we're going to kind of just play the area, look for movement before we go all crazy. So right here's where I'm analyzing the gunfight. The enemy was smart enough to kind of duck and play that as cover. So now I'm anticipating the enemy we're about to fight is pretty decent. So we're going to play this fight out and then we'll break it down again just like we did the last one and kind of go over that step by step. And again, it puts you more in the mindset of these players doing the pause breakdowns after the fact instead of just me talking through it like I am right now. All right, so pretty simple fight right here. So this is pretty simple. We're making noise up here. Another enemy spots us from behind, proceeds to shoot. Mr. E then whips out some pretty decent movement and then goes into the dolphin dive prone in order to utilize the wall as cover. Great job. The moment our teammate goes down, we throw a nice smoke protecting us from the enemy's visual and our teammates. Now let's talk about this fight. Our dude, Mr. D, is 5 HP. He's hurt and he's a sliver of health, so we need to help him out instantly. Look how close this dude gets before he looks at us. He's right there. All he's got to do is shoot him once and he's good, but he decides to fight his fight. We put ourselves out in the open. So now it's an even 1v1. And the enemy goes down. I don't want you guys to fight like that. I want you to hug the AC unit a lot and fight that a lot smarter. I really want you hugging the AC units like this or playing it as cover like this and shooting the enemy. But what he wanted to do was bring all attention to him to help his teammate out. Now this right here is just stupidity, bro. This is just people playing for stupid reasons, I guess. Now look, even if you need to buy back both your teammates, if you risk dying to buy back two guys with pistols, who are you really helping out? The odds of your teammate coming back with just pistols and winning the game is very slim. You have a better chance of actually, I don't know, hiding, playing the buy longer, maybe 1v3 before you hit the buy. Anything was better than that. So now, right now, look at this. Look how he peeks back. He doesn't hide. He re-peeks just to kind of get eyes on the enemy while he's plating. This goes back to the video I posted yesterday where I said you want to plate as you're looking. We talked about it several times in this video. Plate and look. And he plate and looked. Don't be afraid to get hit again while you're plating up. You want to keep eyes on the enemy so you know where they're at. Now, right now, we could be held if this enemy team to our right-hand side, and we know there's two of them. If they're smart enough to get here fast and play this, they could essentially win. They do smoke it out. Let's just see if they have the accuracy. We smoked this out as well, and notice how we're playing this right now. Kind of just checking to see if anyone was in the gas below us. I will be honest, the fact that he's more worried about it's in the gas than what's across the airfield from us is a little questionable. We already looked in the gas. I'm good with that. I want to be focusing on that, and I definitely don't want to be jumping on top of the ambulance, but I'm pretty sure he's just trying to go inside, but the game's ass, so it made him vault up top. Now, this zone here is crazy, but there's still cover and concealment. You got a few fire trucks, you got a crater, you got a lot you can work with on both sides, and again, going to come down to who has the better strategy, who has smokes, and who has good aim on who wins the game. Unfortunately, Dick Farm Done lays prone inside of here, and he does get the execute. So unfortunately, there's that. But we do have a portable buy, so guess what? Homie, you're coming back. Love the fact we smoke it out. It comes down. We get our teammate back. And we don't have enough money for a Yui, so I wonder what he's going to buy. He buys a plate box. That's even better. It's a 3v6 right now, multiple teams. Now I put my headset on. We see the guy on the rooftop right here. And again, look at the crater we have. Just utilizing the crater as cover. Pretty simple there. And the rest is history.